Hey guys, real talk here. My name is Michael or Kubera. Welcome to Crypto News. I want to avoid burnout. And I know this sounds crazy. I only just started uploading daily videos this week, but I'm thinking long term ahead for the future. What is the best plan of action? So I wanted to ask you guys personally. I was looking through some old videos of mine. What made this channel great back in the day? How to revive it? How to make it better? And one of my primary questions is, what is too much for you as a subscriber? When would you unsubscribe? Is it 2 videos daily? Is it 3 videos daily? 4? I haven't done 4 videos daily, but out of curiosity, do you have a maximum limit? I think for most people it's probably 3, maybe even 2. Probably 2 to 3 videos a day. Whoa, there is a raven on my balcony, and we'll just zoom in. Hey Raven, he's just chilling. He's going up. You know what's there? It's like this fake raven, plastic raven, that this guy's like, I don't care, whatever, I'm just chilling. Haha, that's awesome. That is the 12th floor, everybody. Oh, he's looking in. Hello. Hi, I hear you. Anyways, so today, we're not only discussing crypto burnout on YouTube, but crypto burnout in general, and you're going to be like, this doesn't affect me. I'm fine. Let me tell you. This is coming from an individual who lost a lot of money from cryptocurrency and also made a lot of money, and then later went into such a big depression that I went to a psychiatrist. Now I have tinnitus, visual snow, depersonalization, all of these thoughts long after I stopped taking the medication. More than a year later, here we are. So I know a thing or two, and burnout might have just been one of the causes that eventually led to my downfall. You see, there's a lot of pressure going on. And by the way, the intro is going to be rolling in right here because this is too good to interrupt. There's a lot of stress, constant stress. And you're like, all right, I'm making money. I don't care about this. But here's where you're wrong. I was making good money too, and yet I was stressed. The burnout started when I was making the most amount of money because there's even more stress than usual. You go to a normal job, you probably go into the 9 to 5 or the 8 to 4. Maybe you work overtime an hour or two. Maybe lunch is involved. You go out with your friends, coworkers, You go back home, that's it. 9, 10, maybe even 11 hours if you're such a hard worker or you just really care about mingling with your coworkers, which you probably shouldn't. That's a waste of time. Then you go back home and you are free. You can do whatever you want. With cryptocurrency, especially if you have a lot on the line, you are never free. It's a 24/7 game. Stocks, it's open for a few hours, then everybody goes home, right? Well, in cryptocurrency, it's 24/7. It's all around the world, and one rumor can cause such volatility that you've never seen that before in stocks. Yes, you can make a lot of money, but you can lose. Crypto can go down 5,000% suddenly. I lost like $60,000, $70,000 in a single week. One of the cryptocurrencies, I checked it at this point, it went down 99.16%. That's insane. If you had 100 grand, you wouldn't even have $1,000. You went from owning a used Ferrari to, I can't even buy a good bicycle. So there is constant stress eating away at you. You're constantly looking on YouTube, crypto. You're trying to go to sleep. Last night, I just remembered this. Now I can't really sleep because of tinnitus, so I'm stressed out because of that. But I like to distract myself by watching cryptocurrency videos. I want to also learn what's going on in the environment, and that's such a fast way to learn. Maybe we're not learning a lot, but it's in the background. You're like, all right, well, this happened, this company went down, there was a scam involved, this YouTuber, some drama, blah, blah, blah. And maybe you guys had this happen, but people around me would either be crypto or they'd be afraid of crypto because of how much I talked about it. Like, I would go out for beer and I'd constantly be like, crypto, 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 crypto. You need to invest in crypto. I love crypto. Da, da, da. That was at the peak where it was constant crypto. I lived, I breathed, and I nearly died for crypto. I didn't know what it was. I was depressed. I was anxious. Burnout would explain that. Ultimately, I went to debt, and debt causes constant stress as well because you need to figure out a way to pay the bills. And if you don't pay the bills, well, then they'll shut off your internet, they'll shut off your phone. But if you pay the debt instead, what's that going to do for you short term? In the long term, yes, it's going to help. And if you don't pay for the debt, then the debt's going to rise. Then there's more debts coming in, and you're like, whoa, where'd this come from? I didn't even know about this. It is chaos, constant chaos. You get phone calls, you got to change your phone because you're not able to pay for it. You don't want to deal with these guys right now. You have too much stress. You're like, screw this. So let me explain to you how to avoid crypto burnout, because this can go for anybody. If you have $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, or just $1,200 in Bitcoin and you have no idea what cryptocurrency is other than your friend said, hey, invest in Bitcoin, you might make some money, and you're like, all right, well, why not? It doesn't matter. If you have skin in the game, this is directed for you. If you want to be successful, longevity is the thing you should be focusing on. It's an incredibly important attribute to be successful because it doesn't matter how hard you're working. You need to work this hard for years and years and years. Can you do that? You might just burn out, and in the end, you might lose out on money and opportunity and everything you wanted. Your dreams will come crashing down. So instead of working a lot, where at the very peak of crypto, I was sacrificing sleep some days because I'd be like, all right, crypto, And yes, I'd get stressed out if the market would go up and down and up and down and up and down. And ultimately, even though I'd cash out, I'd be like, holy moly, like, wow, that was stressful because it was constantly like all over the place. So the more money you have, the easier it's going to be to change everything. Most of this stress will come from the fact that if you're investing a lot of money, it can change your life situation and you don't want to get there. So you don't want to take out credit cards and loans and another equity on your house, put up your car for sale or whatever to do investing. No, that is too much. You can't invest more than you can afford to lose. And I know I was a big proponent of that for many months until I wasn't anymore because it was like the greed got over me. All right, well, I'm making so much money. I can do this for 1 month. I can do this for 2 months. And then boom! And it caught me with my pants open and my, in my hand. I was like, all right. But this doesn't just go for, all right, whatever money you have, invest all of that. No, you have to make sure you have the bills paid. And my best advice, the least stressful period in my life was at the very beginning when I had some money and I paid early in advance for the apartment's rent. Pay for 6 months or pay for 12 months rent. You can get your rent lowered if you do that because the guy's happy. He's got a lot of money up front. Even better, if you have money, just buy the apartment so you don't have to pay rents to somebody that the rent's eventually going to go up or you're leasing an office space or whatever. Don't do that. Make sure you've got enough money for food, utilities, crisis mode. You have emergency money. Emergency money, a few $1,000s and you've got insurance all paid for, depending where you live. Here it's free health insurance, but private health insurance helps speed things up. You should also have some personal money. So if you need to travel or do something, do it. Now, of course, if you're poor or you're just starting out and you want to get into crypto, my advice is this. I learned from this as well. Don't invest into crypto if you don't have more than a few $1,000s. Yes, you can make money, and sure, there's a lot of ways to make money with only $100, only $200, only $300. It will be stressful though, because you're going to have to do a lot of day trading. You're going to have to find some good insider information, or I don't know, you're going to have to take a pretty heavy risk. At the very beginning, heavy risks are great, but you could take that same amount of energy and invest it into learning a skill that's revolving around cryptocurrency, whether you're getting a cryptocurrency job, or you're going to start a website, a blog, a social media page around cryptocurrency, and you're also going to be learning about cryptocurrency at the same time that you're posting on it. And you're not doing this to make money, at least not at the very beginning, because all that should matter if you are poor, if you don't have a lot of money, is you need to learn about this subject. You need to gain some skills so people later on down the line can pay you. So even during the crash, a lot of these programmers for crypto, yeah, sure, they weren't making these crazy sums, but compared to other companies, they were still making crazy sums because crypto was overpriced for certain job titles. So even after the crash, some of these developers were making a couple $100,000 annually, and some of them were doing a pretty easy job. There's stress from all around, but financial stress creeps up behind you. So you want to do everything possible to eliminate that. If you don't have a lot of money, invest it into yourself first. Find other ways to get into this space, and the money will come later on down the line. If you're working a normal job, just save up a percentage of your money, and later on down the line you can invest, because all of this is cyclical. I know there might not be another opportunity where Bitcoin's suddenly rising like that, but there's going to be thousands and thousands of other opportunities where yes, you can make 100% of your money if you invest it right. And it's going to feel a lot better knowing that you invested $2,000 out of, let's say, $10,000 total that you have, or that you invested a $2,000, but that was the only $2,000 that you have, and you're constantly looking up and down, and yes, you made that money, but it's like, And even if you do have a lot of money, only invest a small percentage into it. If you've got a lot, Get an apartment, rent it out, do an Airbnb. Sure, that's got its own stress, but people will always be renting. Diversify your income. I know gold went down yesterday 7%, but it's pretty stable, and it's not an investment. It's just keeping your money in there. So just in case you lose money heavily on one investment, there's always these assets that can give you stability. You need multiple facets of your life to be stable so that in here you're able to think rationally and make logical decisions. Now, one big thing I must mention here is proper health. My health was pretty crap. I was eating bad food. I still am eating bad food, duh. Wasn't exercising, just crypto, baby. Some days I'd have really bad sleep schedules. I would sleep too little, or I'd go to sleep when the sun's going up. You need to get that 7-8 hours of sleep every day, baby. You gotta drink a lot of water, eat the proper food. I know that sounds crazy, but when you're so into it, and you're super stressed out, sometimes you forget about the little simple things in life. Listen to your body, do the math, and remember, this isn't a sprint, this is a marathon. You gotta go all the way. So working every day, if you're able to do that, great. If you're not, do 6 days a week, do 5 days a week, do 4 days a week. However much is good for you, as long as you're able to support your lifestyle and still have enough money to invest somehow. Or if you don't want to invest, if that's too much for you, go the other route. Work with it. Meditation helps a lot as well. Go back to some of your hobbies. Go out with your friends. I know this sounds crazy, but again, at my peak, I didn't care about anything else. And that's why 2019, I absolutely did nothing. I lost a lot of money. I didn't do any work. I also got tinnitus. I was freaking out. I had like suicidal ideation every day. That is not a good position to be in. I went from feeling like a god to feeling like trash. So either or isn't great, because when you feel like a god, that pedestal can be removed very quickly underneath you. So I wanted to post this video so hopefully you're able to learn from me. And I know a lot of this is just easy knowledge. Everyone always talks about it. But this is a reminder that it can happen to you. And I've known a lot of people. I've known other YouTubers that were making 5 times more than me, 10 times more than me. Some people lost $1 million. Let me tell you, I wasn't the only one experiencing suicidal ideation. How could you have avoided that? How could you have avoided the depression, the anxiety, all of that? Either work less or work differently. I think that second one, if done right, you could still work a lot. But the long-term route is what you should be focusing on. All right, see you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Give a like. Bye.